Hello everyone, Ryan Teen on the scene here, and I am here with the lovely Malik Mercier.
Hi.
Hello everyone. So he is a teen journalist who uses next gen tools to share people's stories, and I find it very interesting how you go about that. And he is here with me today to share some social media tips for teens wanting to build their brand, get more followers, things of that nature. So please jump right into it, introduce yourself, and tell us a little bit.
Yeah, you did a great job. I'm Malik Mercier. I'm a teen journalist. I use, like you said, next-gen tools, so like Instagram Stories, Instagram Lives, IGTV, all these new methods and modern-day tools that we have to get our stories, especially as young people, across. I love using those to tell stories.
Absolutely.
And I'm also a journalism major at Ithaca College.
Woo! Go Ithaca. I love that school personally.
And that's sort of about me. Yeah, I'm a student pilot, so there's a lot of things which I know you want to talk about. So there's a lot of I do a lot of different things, but I'm super happy to be here, and thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh, thank you for being here. If you guys don't know, he is extremely always busy. He's always on a plane, usually JetBlue, because I know that's your favorite.
I do love JetBlue.
Yes, he's always on a plane, always going someplace. So one of the first things we want to talk about is teen branding. Obviously, branding is extremely important in the entertainment industry, social media industry, things of that nature. So if you could just jump right into it about teen branding.
Yeah, so I think branding can be really difficult. I think a lot of people look at it from a standpoint of, oh my God, I need to sort of be like a company. And like, for example, JetBlue, speaking of them, they have 5 different values: safety, caring, integrity, fun, and passion. And that's sort of how they build their airline. But the funny thing is, as a human, you don't have to have a board meeting, you don't have to come up with values, you don't have to sort of sit down and really think about this, because you already are passionate about things. You're already doing things, you're already living, and you've already seen injustices in the world that you want to take care of. So basically, you have to make sure that those relate through your social media. So
Absolutely.
You really have to ask yourself, I think, who do you want to be seen as, and what do you want to convey with your social media?
That's awesome. Yes. If you could give a couple of like two or three little like tips that like you might use in your own practice for your Instagram page at Classy Malik. Definitely follow him. Please feel free to share.
Yeah. So one person I love that sort of does a lot of social media is Jasmine Star, and she talks about having 3 different words that you use to sort of power your Instagram. And so what I use is kindness, bravery, and energy. So I sort of make sure, like, I did a lot of Instagram kindness things. I was on the Instagram policy panel, as well as the Instagram kindness prom. So a lot of kind things were coming up in my life.
Absolutely.
I've worked with kindness.org now. So there's a ton of that. So that's something I can consistently show.
Absolutely.
How I'm being kind in the world. And then also with bravery, I do this My Truth Tuesday post.
I love those. Those literally give me so much life.
Thank you. So a lot of it, I feel like sometimes it may not be that brave, sometimes it is, but a lot of people feel it's brave because there are a lot of things that people just won't talk about. So whenever I'm ready to be vulnerable about a certain topic, then I will be, and that's sort of how because I can do that consistently, I can keep up with that. And so I try to do that through those posts. And then the energy, I sort of try to make sure that my Insta stories are on the move, that I'm doing all these various different things that are always energetic.
Absolutely.
And so that makes people sort of feel that, and I think that's super important to be translating energy. So that's sort of the things I try to do, and I think that when you are trying to show a lot through social media, you have to show what you can keep up with. If you want to show fun, if you want people to think you're really fun, you need to be constantly like at amusement parks doing fun things, right?
Exactly.
You can't take pictures in the middle of nowhere with no lights, no action, or else people aren't going to be thinking you're fun. If you want to be a travel blogger or like have an Instagram all about travel, you have to travel, or else it's just not going to come across. So I think those are super important tips that you can sort of use to make sure that you are keeping up with your Instagram and with other social media outlets too. And then one more tip, I think consistency is key across the board. What you want to do when you're branding yourself is sort of make sure that like all of your handles, if they can be the same, make them the same, because that's a great way to be able to make sure that people can find you really easily. For example, my website has my Instagram in it, it has my Twitter in it, you can easily find me. And then also, for example, like my Twitter bio doesn't have to have room taken up in it for talking about like, oh, my Instagram is at Classy Malik because my Twitter's at Classy Malik, my Instagram, it's all the same.
Exactly. So when you search up one, you find all of them with which helps build your followers on across all different platforms.
Exactly, yeah. So it's all the same, so it's super easy. And then that room in my Twitter bio can now be used to talk about things like what I love to do, who I have experience with, and where I go to college, like all of that stuff, which people want to know when they meet you. So those are sort of my branding tips.
That is amazing. We have so much more of this interview, but we're going to continue in a second.